Hi, I'm Lanny Mayer. I'm the instructor for Ed 460, Diversity, Interaction, and the Learning Process. I want to give you an introduction to the Blackboard layout and the unit that we're going to be working in. If you take a look over at the left-hand side right away, you'll see the menu, and it's broken up into sections here that hopefully are intuitive and easy to understand. We're starting here, and the students will get an email with a welcome letter and that information, which shows up here on the welcome page. I think I'm going to move this so I can hit my cursor. There we go. There's a welcome video, the letter they receive, which has the schedule, study time, welcome session, the weekly sessions, the online components that we're doing, as this will be a flipped class, but a lot more of it can be done online, and I'm looking to add more than we're presently doing. And then some housekeeping things for their information that they also receive by email. Class philosophy, my contact information, which is pretty redundantly placed throughout different places, which we'll see shortly, including my response time, cell phone question and answer form, and the discussion board, email, and so on. Lots of ways to get to me. How I handle late work, getting ready for an online class if they haven't had one before, online units on portions, withdrawal from the class, and links to the schedules link, which has all that information in detail. And I also put the syllabus and the assignments here, the assignments for grading, and a key here to the syllabus so they have an idea of where to go to get the key information. That is also placed in the menu on the left. As you can see, there's a syllabus there which has the same information and a downloadable version as well. The assignments page, which shows exactly what the assignments are, keyed up to what's gradable and scoreable. Okay. And then a link to their grades and the weekly learning units, which we'll turn to in just a moment. For communicating, the discussion boards, they'll have a couple of posts to do, and they're listed here along with the question and answer for things that might be of importance for my information or stuff of general use to the class, or questions that might enrich others as well as those students that I can track. And then the discussion board instructions, there are 2 posts there and a rubric, which we'll look at in a minute, but you can see where it's posted here as well. I break them up into at least 4 groups for wikis and discussion boards sometimes that will do collaboration. And so consequently, they'll have opportunity to use those. And then there's a link to the wiki that is their final assignment and what groups are involved there, as well as email connections, and my contact information again is posted here so that they'll see how to reach me. Okay, there's also at the very bottom here the tools and help connections so that they can get help on Blackboard and use the other tools within Blackboard to negotiate communication and online work and so on. So let's turn now and take a look at how I laid out the weekly learning units. And the learning units will always have a section in there for assignments given, activities, and assignments due within there, but I didn't lay out the stuff in each one of these. I just wanted to do it for that one piece that we're now working online for this purpose. So here it is. And again, activities for the week, the assignments given, assignments due. There's nothing due this week, but I'm queuing them up for what's going to be due the following week. And then if we take a look inside the actual activities, there's a downloadable document for them there. And as we walk through, there's an introduction to this unit, the learning objectives that I want them to have by the time they're done, and then a list of the things they're going to do and the learning objectives that they're tied to. Each of these, you will see as we go down to the assignments themselves, are beginning with content and then followed up by an assessment. So the first 2 here are video and reading content, which cues them up to information they need, criteria they will use to evaluate a child's book on Columbus. And then they will take a quiz to kind of help them process that. It's not a graded quiz. It's just a self-test to force them to walk through and use that material. Then they'll pick a children's book on Columbus, and they get that from the library, and read that with using the tools that they already have, and follow that up by reading Bigelow's article, Once Upon a Genocide, where he evaluates 6 books, children's books on Columbus, which will further enrich their understanding of how this process works, at which time they will go and make a post onto their discussion board according to these criteria. And that post is due Wednesday, and they will follow up that post, which will be graded according to this rubric, both of them, the follow-up and the first response, with a response to 2 colleagues, either both noting an insight they included or contrasting or adding an insight from their own reflection. That forces them to interact with their peers as well. Then we turn to strategies. And at this point, the content they'll get is watching one teacher's strategy for addressing children's books on Columbus by putting Columbus on trial and having the class do some homework and do that. And then the students will, in their groups, create wikis, which will summarize the group's reflection and also provide some culturally responsive pedagogy instructional strategies that they come up with that they think they can use in their classroom. So we're giving content, activities, and then followed up with an activity for them to assess themselves. And they're listed all the way down here. You can see as they proceed down, they'll see each of these things: the quiz, content, reading the article, discussion board, and the wiki. I hope that gives you an adequate understanding of what we're doing in this class, and that it's intuitive, and that it can be even exciting enough for you to go in here and try it yourself. You might have fun with it. Thanks very much.